I'm here in Iguazu Falls on the Brazilian side. I'm here in Argentina. If you're short on time and you can only visit one side of Iguazu Falls, which side do you visit? Which side will give you the best value for your dollar or your best value for your time? You can access it from both countries, from both Brazil and Argentina. Which side is better? In this vlog, I'm gonna cover the highlights of both sides. So that way you can decide which country do you want to see Iguazu Falls from, Brazil or Argentina.
We're putting them head to head, like a soccer match. Call it Iguazu Falls Showdown. We'll go through each side's pros and cons, just like match commentary. At the end, we'll crown a winner. Now let's begin with the kickoff, and looks like Brazil has possession.
As you can see, we are getting closer. There's a bird park and then the cataratas, and that's where we're headed towards.
First, the cost of entry on the Brazil side is cheaper than the Argentine side. It cost us about 41 US for the two of us in Brazil. However, on the Argentine side, it was a tad more expensive, but there is one cool perk.
Now in line to buy our tickets. Now one thing you could do on the Argentinian side, which is a plus, is if you save your ticket on the first day, you can come back after 72 hours and you only have to pay 50%. Got our tickets. All right, in terms of pricing, it was a little cheaper to go to the Brazilian side. And then here in Argentina, it works out to be like close to 66 for both. That's all right, at least we're moving through the line pretty quickly. I think this is the line to get on the bus.
Brazil starts strong with convenience. The park buses run all day, so you don't have to stress about schedules. You can hop on, hop off, whenever you want.
And don't worry, they got plenty of buses. They're just running them continuously. So if you miss one bus, not a big deal. There's another one. We only had to wait like half a minute.
Most people take the bus all the way to the end to get to Devil's Throat. No need to worry about staying too long at Devil's Throat or at any of the other stops because there'll be another bus in a couple of minutes. It's much different in Argentina where they use trains to transport people.
All right, we're at the central station or the Estación Central. The tickets to the train are free because they are included in your admission, but you still got to pick up tickets.
The train system is clunky. You already paid for a park entry, but you still have to queue for a separate train ticket. Then the trains only leave every half hour, so you're stuck planning around that.
Oh, how adorable. It's a little old train here. So this is different from Brazil because Brazil was a bus and now we're on a train here in Argentina.
I found sticking to a train schedule to be restrictive and had to look at my watch to make sure we got to the train station in time to take it to our next destination.
So if you're short on time like we are, immediately go to the train. So collect your tickets or collect your train tickets and then go to the train station. So get this, the maximum speed of this train is 5 kilometers per hour. I can run faster than that. Train stopped to let the other train in the opposite direction pass. So this is different from the Brazil side where with the buses, they're running them continuously because they can because there's 2 lanes. But since the trains here share a track at the station, one's got to stop for the other.
And hence why they have designated times at each station. Here we are at the last trail of the day on the Argentine side, rushing to get to the last train back to the central station. Feeling rushed like that ruined the vibe of this relaxing trip to see waterfalls.
All right, so we made it, but there's a long line, so hopefully there'll be another train. Oh, that was cutting it close. We just got on the train, and it is 5:32. But that is one drawback of taking the train here in Argentina is that you're kind of at their mercy. They do stop every 30 minutes, so you just have to time your hike and your excursions accordingly.
Okay, maybe I'm a little harsh with giving Argentina a yellow card for the train system, but at the end of the day, it is still a reliable and efficient transportation system that will get you to Devil's Throat and the other hiking trails. However, gold belongs to Brazil for their frequent buses. As far as which side has the best view of Iguazu Falls, I would say Brazil hands down. 80% of the waterfalls are on the Argentina side, which means if you're standing in Brazil, you get to see them in their full glory.
So I'm standing here in Brazil, but if you look over there, that is Argentina. So that's another hike that you could do from the Argentinian side, which we will do either tomorrow or the day after. I haven't figured out the itinerary yet.
Whereas the tourists on the Argentine side didn't get wet walking on the elevated platform, you will get soaked on the Brazilian side to get a good view of Devil's Throat, so dress accordingly. Yet with views like this of Devil's Throat, it was totally worth getting wet. This is the side for big picture views. You see almost the entire stretch of waterfalls in one sweep. It's breathtaking.
Okay, of course, exit through the gift shop.
The park feels smaller on the Brazil side because after that jaw-dropping view of Devil's Throat, there are a few hiking trails through the rainforest. Brazil gets a yellow card for having fewer attractions compared to Argentina. Most people just go to Devil's Throat and leave. However, Brazil does score a goal for the Parque das Aves, or bird park, which some tourists might want to supplement their visit on the Brazilian side.
We're gonna cross the street from Iguazu Falls Park to Parque das Aves, or basically the bird park. If you have time, it's something to fit into your itinerary, but it's not included as part of your admission into the park.
It's a separate ticket you have to purchase and a completely different park featuring native birds of the rainforest.
Flamingo, they're usually white.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with these like red dye 40 flamingos. Don't know too much about flamingos. I know they turn pink because they eat shrimp.
Be in awe of the harpy eagle. I've never seen one in life other than on National Geographic. There are plenty of parrots, but they are not trapped in a cage. A large enclosure, sure, but you're inside the enclosure with them. I do cover more of the bird park in detail in my video focusing on Brazil's Iguazu Falls if you want to check it out.
And that is it for our visit to the bird park, or Parque das Aves. I thought this was a great addition to Iguazu Falls. So we gotta give Brazil a point here for having a bird park. And even if you were short on time, I still think you could squeeze the bird park in. I mean, yeah, we spent nearly 2 hours here and we went past the closing time, but I suspect 4:30 is when they stop letting people in because there's still plenty of people inside the park and it's 5:30 right now. But if you're short on time, just go at your own pace. I mean, if you gotta speed up, then that's what you gotta do. But for us, because we like animals, it was fun to stop at each of the cages and try to spot the bird out. And I enjoyed being in a rainforest climate and then seeing all of the birds in their native environment. Except for the cassowary. I don't know about that cassowary because they're from Australia.
Full disclosure, we did stay at a nicer hotel in Brazil called Hotel Sanma that was a 5-minute walk to the park. It was fancier than our usual accommodations, but it was still cheaper to stay there for 2 nights than in Hawaii. This might have given Brazil an unfair advantage in our scorecard, but then again, how many times have you seen the players flop on the pitch or get into a shouting match with the ref? We are done with the first half and Brazil is in the lead with 4 points. The tickets are cheaper, the bus system is more convenient than Argentina's train system, the views are hands down better, and the bird park was a nice addition to your day. Let's see if Argentina can catch up in the second half. Argentina takes possession and is passing the ball down the field with a vengeance. One thing that makes the Argentine side much easier to visit if you're an American is that they don't require a visa. That's right, you just need a passport. If you're an American, you need a visa to travel through Brazil, which means you have to plan ahead and submit your application online. It's about $80 US to apply and you get approved in a few business days.
In Brazil, in Argentina, in Brazil, in Argentina.
Vámonos.
While Brazil gives you a spectacular view of Devil's Throat, Argentina fires back with immersion.
So far, this is quite a walk. So it's a little different from the Trail das Cataratas, a waterfall trail in Brazil. Here in Argentina, you walk along this bridge and you just keep going and going until you get to the very end. Walking through the rainforest here in Argentina on our way to the Devil's Throat. Okay, I see the mist from the waterfall over there, so that means that we're getting closer. I can also hear the roar of the waterfalls.
You're not just looking at waterfalls, you're surrounded by mist and wildlife.
Oh my, that's the top of the Devil's Throat.
You get right up close to Devil's Throat. standing above the most powerful section of the falls.
I didn't get as wet as I thought I was going to get. Yeah, there was like stream and mist of water on me, but nowhere near as bad as when we were down there in Brazil. So I would say you don't need ponchos up here.
Another thing that Argentina takes the lead on is with the variety of waterfalls. After all, if 80% of the waterfalls are in Argentina, that means there are more hiking trails to incorporate them.
This is convenient. So here is the upper circuit hike, and then over there is the lower circuit hike. So I guess this is what they mean by an immersive rainforest experience. Guess you're accomplishing a lot of things here. So yeah, you're walking through the rainforest, and then at the end we'll be able to see the waterfalls from a different vantage point. Salto dos Hermanas. So the two sisters. Okay. Oh, I get it. So I see the two waterfalls. Kind of hard to see from this angle, but there's the first waterfall and then there's the second waterfall. Two sisters.
The Circuito Superior, or upper trail, allows you to see the tops of the many waterfalls.
Salto San Martin. Oh, and I think this was the strongest of the series. So too bad, can't really see all of it. I mean, we only see like the top of it, but you can see that's the strongest one of them all.
If seeing the tops of the waterfalls don't impress you, then check out the Circuito Inferior, or lower trail, which I think gives you better views.
I recognize this waterfall. It's the Dos Hermanas, the two sisters. Oh wow. Okay, so get a really good view here from the lower circuit. I wasn't expecting this. That must be San Martin up ahead, because I do remember that platform having the Argentina flag.
If you're short on time in Argentina, I would do the opposite of what they say to do on the internet and pick the Circuito Inferior over the Superior. Looking at the tops of the waterfalls is lackluster to me. Just like the bird park, visiting the Tres Fronteras is optional, but hey, at least it's free. How cool to say you saw 3 countries at once.
We are here at the Iguaçu Tres Fronteras, or the landmark of the 3 borders. While standing here in Argentina, I could see Brazil and Paraguay. Looking out here, so there's the bridge. Over there, that's Paraguay. And you can see the obelisk that's painted in the Paraguayan colors. Then across that bridge, that's Brazil. I can't see the obelisk painted in blue and yellow, but it's somewhere over there. Just can't see it. Maybe it's just blocked behind those trees, because remember, we are in the middle of a rainforest. And that obelisk there, that's Argentina, which I'm standing on Argentine side. One tip, get here early to take photos, because lots of people come here. We're here at 10 o'clock in the morning. It started off as just being us, but now I can see people strolling on in, taking selfies.
Argentina ends strong with a last-minute goal, tying the match. It scored with not requiring a visa if you're an American, having the view standing over Devil's Throat, its immersive waterfall experience, and the Tres Fronteras. We have a draw. In our post-game analysis, let's go over what commonalities both sides have.
Here we go. They say this is a relatively easy hike, and this is our way of getting immersed into the rainforest.
While Argentina famously boasts its immersive rainforest experience, there are opportunities for the same thing in Brazil. Both sides have opportunities for animal sightings.
Oh my goodness. That's what I heard earlier. There we go, the capybara. The world's largest rodent. Oh. See, and this is why you're not supposed to feed the animals here. They just come. So we're in an enclosement to protect ourselves from the monkeys, but somebody fed these monkeys and now they're coming here. See, that guy made it off with a piece of bread. Now he went away. And not to outdo the monkey, we got the quaddis. They know when the train leaves because people are leaving their food behind, so they're going to come and clean it up. They're like the cleaning crew. Here he goes, looking for scraps.
The food selection at both locations were good, considering they were national parks.
Finally got our acai bowl here in Brazil. Good thing that the snack bar at Iguazu Falls in Brazil has one. And then we also got coffee because, you know, it's that time of day. Not too bad of a price. So works out to be like 12 US. And not bad. This all cost about 16 US for this sandwich. And then the drink that came as a special. And then we got 2 coffees. So we're definitely going to be pretty amped up for this hike.
Finally, both sides are easily accessible if you have mobility issues. In Brazil, you can take the bus to the last stop and take the elevator to the platform to see Devil's Throat. This is the view you get from the platforms.
One thing I do have to give Argentina credit for is that this walkway is ADA compliant, I would say. So if you have any mobility issues, don't worry. You totally walk on this. I saw somebody with a stroller, so yeah, if you need wheels, you can use it.
I love how inclusive both sides are, so you don't have to miss out on Devil's Throat.
So in the end, what do I think? Who has the better side, Brazil or Argentina? I actually would say it's a draw. It kind of depends on what you were trying to get from your trip. If you want a comprehensive experience, you actually have to see both sides. Brazil has the views of the falls, like no question about it. They have the best views, hands down. On the Argentina side, you get more of like a park experience, more of a national park experience. You do get up closer to the waterfalls in Argentina than you can in Brazil. And there seems to be more stuff to do here in terms of trails, and the trails were pretty well laid out. I say visit both sides if time allows it. I did see some tours that were advertised where you can do both sides in one day, but I think that's just crazy. I mean, that's a lot of action right there. I think it's best to spread it out at least 2 days.
We're not going to overtime or a penalty shootout. It's a draw. The real winner? Well, it's you. You get to visit Iguazu Falls after all. If you're planning a trip here, let me know in the comments. Which side would you visit first, Brazil or Argentina? If you want an in-depth look at each side, check out these videos on the end screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.